Hello, this video will go over the client discovery settings in the programs controls for each of your programs. Client discovery settings, so we've gone to programs, we've clicked on a client program, and now we have this little block down here, client discovery. The client discovery settings only affect what happens when we're doing an add a new client search, and we've got kind of the check on the right for whether there's existing clients in the system. All right, so this is the only place that these settings have any control over. All right, all of your programs are going to start off with these default settings. So in most cases, this should be fine. We won't need to do much for here. And so if this whole video could potentially not be relevant to you at all, and feel free to stop watching at any point if you feel like that's you. But some of you have some particular needs in which you want to have it so that more or less is seen about a client for one program to another, for one user to another, and maybe some of you want to have the ability to allow staff to just automatically assign clients from one program into their new program and not have to communicate with each other. So I'm going to go through each of these settings, and while I do that, for each setting, I'm going to kind of give an example as to how this each setting kind of plays out. So to kind of set up the example first, I want to show you that, oops, not there. We have a client here called Jenny Genesis, and she is only in the legal advocacy program. We're going to be using the legal program here as a key example because a lot of these settings are kind of built around the needs for programs like legal programs or like therapy programs, that the extra level of confidentiality needed in some of these programs. And note that my account has access to the legal advocacy program. This is a program my account currently has access to. I'm in the demo user account. But let's, for the sake of this demo, disable my access to this account. And now when I go to look at Jenny's record and reload, I do not have permission to view this client. All right, so this is somebody that I cannot see, and she exists, and I want to go through, and I'm a user in any other program, and I'm doodly-doo. I want to add a client to non-residential. She just walked in my door. Her name is Jenny Genesis. Okay. So glad I picked such an easy to type and remember name for this demonstration. Okay, so we see over here Jenny Genesis exists. Okay, that is because we have it set so that when we go to our legal department, legal program, users who can discover clients in this program, all users. All right, so that is currently what's set up here. Maybe that's not what you want. Maybe you only want users in the legal advocacy program to be able to see that Jenny exists during that process. All right. So notice, just again to reiterate, that this is just the add new client check. If I were to go up here and type in Jenny Genesis, it's not going to come up. All right. So this is not whether we can look them up. It's just via the add new client check. All right. And so now let's turn this off. Let's say we only want users in the legal advocacy program to even see that they exist in the database. Save changes. Now when we go back in here and we do some typing, no match is found. All right, so my user account is not in the legal advocacy program, so I can't even see that clients who are only in the legal advocacy program exist. All right, so there's some of you where that's what you want, and others of you, people are all over the place in their needs for inter-program confidentiality. So these controls are made so that no matter where you fall on the spectrum, we can suit your needs. Okay, so let's say you are a place that is comfortable with at least me knowing that Jenny Genesis exists in a database, but programs, legal advocacy, it shouldn't be the case. Maybe that's what you think. We shouldn't even know that Jenny exists in the legal advocacy program. So all right, we can say uncheck for this. So these users should not be able to, all users can see that she exists, but if discovered, the above users can see that the client is in this program. No, we don't want that to be possible. So we're going to save changes on that. And now, after we enter in Jenny's name, we see she exists, and we don't see what program she's in. And you might think, oh, that's so fantastic, but this could actually be a problem. I want you just to consider the possibility. If you have users that have access to every other program except for one, and they go in and they type, normally when we're typing in a name, this other Jenny showed up, and I do see she's in the non-residential program, but how come I'm not seeing which programs Jenny is in? Well, eventually this user is going to figure out that means that they're in the legal program, and that legal program is locked down, and we can't see which programs they're in. So that's one really key mistake that we're hoping that people don't find themselves in, is that by having only one program set up in really unique ways, that you'll still be able to figure out that they're in that program just by like kind of process elimination. There's got to be some like weird logic term for this that I don't know, but hopefully you get the point. There'll be a help video and help file linked to like right above here when you're actually viewing it. So this help file that we have linked to will kind of talk you through some of the ways to prevent this from happening and different things you're going to have to do to this to accommodate this. And then we would be glad to talk through with you about this as well. So maybe we do think it's okay that all users should see that Jenny is in the legal program. All right. I spelled her name slightly wrong, but it's still a match coming up as a match, which is what you want in case something exactly like this happens. Okay, so maybe we're okay with this. We can see which programs they're in. Ooh, I forgot to tell you. Let's say you have this unchecked, that we can't see what client the program is in. If somebody from the legal program is adding them in, yes, they will be able to see that she's in the legal program, even though this is unchecked, because she's in there. The user and the client are both in the same program, so there's no kind of things lost there. And I'm sorry to keep backtracking, but I also kind of forgot to let you know that if you are going to restrict it to one program, you at least want to restrict it so that the program that you're doing here matches this exact program. You don't want to do like some sort of situation where like, oh, I only want demo users to be able to discover clients in legal advocacy program, because then like there'll be all these other users in the legal advocacy program who can't discover a client exists but can look them up over here, which would be weird. So at least you want to do something like that. All right. I'm so glad that aside was super helpful and clear and completely necessary. All right, so all users can see that they exist in the program. I'm fine with that. And here, the next three things here: see the client's phone number, see the client's birthday, see the client's latest city. So these are meant to just kind of be a way to just do a little double checking and being like, okay, I'm adding in somebody named Jenny Genesis, but she's definitely not 27 and from Crawford, Tennessee. Like she is 65 and from Knoxville, right? So this is really only meant to give you an indication about to verify that somebody is a match. You could potentially uncheck some of these things, not just because you have like confidentiality concerns about whether somebody is the same person or not. Maybe it's too much. Like you don't need to see everything about everybody on this right to do the verification. Maybe just the birthday is enough for you to verify that they're the same person, or just phone numbers. It's up to you what you want to decide. All right, so that's what those three are. See contents of client's base information page. So let's say this isn't enough for you. You really need your staff to be able to see more to verify that this is the right person. So we can check this off, save changes. And now when I go in and type in her name, let's fix it. Now her name is a link. And I can click on this link and I can go to a page that shows me everything of what her current basic information page looks like. But I can't edit anything. I can't, access her activities outline or her information pages or anything else. It's just whatever is on her basic information page, and potentially that will give you or your staff more of an ability to verify that this is the same person. Or potentially the basic information page will contain information that you don't want staff and other users to be able to see about clients yet, and you definitely would not want to make this be a possibility. again, you're going to have to think through some of these things and decide whether this is appropriate for your specific situation. All right, so let's say I'm happy with this, and now I'm adding in Jenny, and I say, oh yes, this is the exact same Jenny. At this point, with the settings that we have it now, in order to have access to Jenny's record, I have to go call somebody in the legal program and say, hey, can you go check off Jenny's file for me here so I can have access to them? And then they would say yes, and then they would do it. But now you have the ability to say, I want to have the ability to assign client to a new program all on my own. So when I save changes to this now, make a little change to her name. Now I see this button, assign to non-residential. So now I can say I don't need to ask anybody. I have full permission to come in here and click assigned, and it's saying, are you sure you want to do this? I am, and boom. Now Jenny is in non-residential and legal advocacy. All right, so this could also be a problem because now we have full access to this client. Those client discovery settings that we're like protecting against people seeing legal advocacy settings, those mean nothing now. The information pages that we see here, I could potentially go and look at her legal advocacy information page and see all this kind of stuff. So it's up to you to then think about, if you activate this setting, to then think about what happens next. What is a user in the situation going to be able to see about this client that we don't want them to be able to see? So like this legal advocacy intake page, you would go, oh, I got to go to that information page over here and set it so that the where is it? Legal advocacy intake page is visible to fully access to legal advocacy and not view only to all other users. I want it to be view only to no other users. Now I can edit that, and when I come back here to Jenny's record, I did something. What did I do? I unchecked something. I don't know. I'm not going to edit this out. You've got to just go back to these information page controls and make it so that they can see certain things or not certain things, and points in time as well. So you would go to points in time and say, okay, their legal matters should be visible to fully access to only staff in the legal advocacy and visible to no other users. All right, so those settings you're going to want to do for things like the information pages and points in time. But then there's these files, uploaded files, and add activities. So if you need to have some sort of rules in which these activities or uploaded files get tagged by a certain program so that only certain programs can see certain activities, we've got to set you up with these special fields here: individual activity entry permissions, individual uploaded file permissions. So if you don't have these two fields like this, contact us and we'll get them added for you. We don't put them for you by default because there's all manner of interesting ways that they get utilized, and we want to make sure that you're doing it right and you're not getting the wrong impression about what's happening on these controls. All right. One other thing that I just want to make clear about this assign client to new program box. So it's clients who are in the legal advocacy program. I can assign them to a new program. This is not when I'm adding a client to the legal advocacy program, I should be able to assign clients from any other program to this program. It's if a client is in this program, can I pull them out of that program and place them into my program? All right, so there's two different ways about thinking of it. Basically, if that didn't make sense to you, if when you're adding in a new client and you don't see that add to a new program box like you think that you should, it's either because they're already in the program that you're trying to add them to, or because you've got this reversed and you've got it to go back to that other program that they're currently in and say, I want to make it so that they can assign a client to a new program. All right, 15 minutes. That's pretty good for something that's actually pretty complicated. Again, read this help file that will be linked to right there, and let us know if you have any questions about this. Interprogram confidentiality and how this all works is really important to get right, so we're really happy to make sure that we're all on the same page about how the system is functioning in this regard. Thanks for watching.